Good evening. I am Vinodini, doing my CSCB final year in Jerusalem College of Engineering. Today, we are going to see about ubiquitous computing, a paradigm of human computer interaction. So, before moving into ubiquitous computing, let us see what the paradigm is in the context of HCI. So, what is an HCI paradigm? A paradigm is usually an example or pattern of predefined frameworks. So, in the context of HCI paradigm, these patterns acts as the key to understand the HCI history. It also helps the designers of an interactive system to make usable designs. So, what is a need for a paradigm? A paradigm usually ensures the usability. So, when coming into usability, the designer of an interactive system is posed with two open questions. How can an interactive system be developed to ensure its usability? And how can the usability of an interactive system be demonstrated or measured? So, for these two questions, the HCI paradigm serves as the answer. It also acts as the demonstration of an interactive system. And as I before said, it also acts as the platform to provide usable designs of an interactive system. So, when coming into HCI paradigms, there are totally 15 paradigms, out of which we are going to see the major paradigm, which is the ubiquitous computing. So, I would like to start the ubiquitous computing with the famous quote stated by Mark Weiser. So, he states that the most profound technologies are those that disappear. Here, the disappear states that the devices should be unnoticeable or it should be small enough to make it usable and it can be widely usable everywhere, anytime, and anytime connectable as well as accessible. So, the terms which were specified is in the context of ubiquitous computing. Now, let us see in depth about the ubiquitous computing. So, previously, for the past 50 years, the interactive computer, we still think of the computers which were confined to a box. And in the late 1980s, the researchers at Xerox PARC initiated a research program with the goal of moving human computer interaction away from the desktop and out into our everyday lives. So Weiser observed this and he got inspired with a new generation of researchers in the area of ubiquitous computing. So, another name for ubiquitous computing is the pervasive computing, which is firstly coined by IBM. So, the pervasive computing, its intention is to create a computing infrastructure that permeates our physical environment so much that we do not notice the computer any longer. It simply states that we can use the devices anywhere and anytime. So, Weiser states a perfect analogy for this ubiquitous computing. So, which is nothing but the electric motor. So, when the electric motor, when it was firstly introduced, it was large, loud, and very much noticeable. And today, the average household contains so many electric motors that we hardly ever notice them anymore. And their utility led to ubiquity and hence invisibility. So, to pursue the analogy with the electric motor a little further, one of the motor's characteristics is that it comes in many sizes. So, Weiser taught the computer technology in also the three different sizes, which are nothing but yard size, foot size, and inch size. Usually, the yard size are the big size mainframe computers, and the foot size are the PCs, and inside are our mobiles. And here are the food size devices. So the top one is the Lenovo tablet, and the second one is the Listen Reader, an interactive storybook developed at Palo Alto Research Center. And the third one is the Sony tablet. And the next thing is the yard size devices. So, which are nothing but our yard sized projector screens and light screens. So, the in-size devices are our mobile phones, and here is our PDAs, the personal digital assistant, and third one is the pocket-sized electronic Bible. So, so this was explained with the waves of computing. The first wave was the one large mainframe computer served many people. So it was the yard revolution, where people that much didn't use the computing devices. And the second wave was the PC revolution, which are the food sized devices, which roughly equal the number of people using them. And the third wave is the current generation wave, where the devices are far out the number of people using them. We can connect to internet and our computing devices anywhere, anytime, accessible. And this is the power of our ubiquitous computing. And it acts as the major paradigm for an HCI system to be built. And now the conclusion part is many different technologies are converging to make the dream of ubiquitous computing possible. And the HCI comes into this to make the ubiquitous computing possible in its domain. So, the vision of ubiquitous computing is first expressed by Weiser at Xerox PARC, and hope so. We expect in future this kind of paradigm will be embedded into the design of interactive system. The end. Thank you.